So my name is Thomas. I'm an applied scientist here at Amazon AI, and I'm part of the MXNet apps team. So what we do is helping internal and external customers to basically do better stuff with MXNet. We work every day with MXNet, and we kind of build this knowledge and expertise that help us optimize code and try to frame problems so that they can be solved through deep learning. So first, I have a question for you. So who has used MXNet before? Oh, quite a few people actually. So that's pretty good. So I have a few slides of intro for those who are more like beginners, so you know a bit more what we're talking about tonight. And also I wanted to mention that this is the first of a series of meetups, so we'll have a few more of these where if anybody has an opportunity to speak about what they do with MXNet, we're very welcome. They're very welcome to come to us, and we can arrange a talk. For example, we're very grateful that tonight FinAI is here, and they're going to talk to us about what they do for natural language understanding and MXNet. So first, MXNet, what it is? It's a deep learning frameworks. Deep learning is a machine learning technology of like deep neural network that enabled a lot of breakthrough in a variety of domains. So for example, that's the key technology behind self-driving cars. Personal assistants like Alexa, or instant translation, and you can even like generate realistic looking fake images of celebrities that are indistinguishable from real images. So MXNet is, if you want, the library, the building blocks that enable you to build all this type of algorithm. So it's not specific to computer vision or NLP or speech. It's libraries that has a computational graph execution and optimization, if you want. So it's scalable. You can use multiple hosts, multiple machines, multiple GPU. It's easy to debug with the Gluon API. It's flexible. It has optimized libraries for fast execution on GPU and CPUs. It's available in a variety of languages, and it's also portable for like embedded device execution. Quick history. So Apache MXNet originated from the DMLC, so the distributed machine learning community. And they created an MXNet in 2015, and that the like foundation paper where they proposed the idea of MXNet as this dependency optimization engine to optimize computational graph and execute them in the best manner possible on a variety of devices. Few major events in the MXNet history was in 2016. AWS said that MXNet, thanks to its scalability and performance, would be the framework of choice for Amazon. So there was an extensive review of all the deep learning frameworks, like TensorFlow, PyTorch, MXNet, Caffe, and that's the one that Amazon picked. And in 2017, it got accepted into the Apache incubator. So the project was donated to the Apache Foundation, and is now governed under the Apache rules, even though the most contributions come from AWS. But any of you, if you're interested in participating, feel free to open like a pull request. Contributions are extremely welcome. So ecosystem and community. So deep learning frameworks, they don't live in isolation. They need to be interfaced with a language, usually for not always use the same one for training and inference. For example, Python gives you a very flexible platform to train your model, but then you might want to deploy it in Scala, on Spark, or with C++. And that's the languages that MXNet supports, and we're open to include more, so if you have a favorite one that's not there, feel free to open a design proposal on the wiki, and people will discuss it, and that's how open source works. Also, we have a few other like niceties. For example, we have a computer vision toolkit with Gluon CV and a natural language processing toolkit with Gluon NLP. We integrate with the Onyx inter-exchange model format, so that's all the major frameworks kind of got together and wrote specs for operators so that you can have model trained, let's say in MXNet, deployed with Caffe or vice versa. We have MXBoard, which is a plugin on TensorBoard that allows you to use a very good TensorBoard that was originally developed for TensorFlow, but you can plug in all your MXNet training data on it. And MXNet is offered as a backend of Keras. So if you're more familiar with Keras, you can just swap the backend for MXNet. So if you want to keep up to date with what we do on MXNet, you have the Medium publication. So lots of blog posts come out every week, so you can learn about what people do with MXNet. We have a YouTube channel, Apache, MXNet Twitter handle, and subreddits. So feel free to subscribe to them or post some content as well on Reddit. And obviously the main point, if you want to contribute and learn how MXNet works, is the GitHub repo. So we just reached 15,000 stars, and the number of contributors keeps growing, so again, feel free to join us. And there is a discuss forum, that's the best place to ask questions if you have a question about not so much like a bug report, but more like how to solve my problem, then the community will be happy to help you on this forum. Okay, so thank you very much. So tonight we have 2 tech talks. The first one will be from Oliver Pringle, who is a data scientist at FinAI. And the second one will be by Tom Lane, who is an applied scientist at AWS AI in the same team as me. And tonight, Oli is going to talk to us about natural language understanding and how they do it with MXNet. And Tom will be talking about parameter optimization using AWS SageMaker.